Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good day everyone. How are you today? I hope you're all doing great as always. And by the way, welcome back to my YouTube channel with me Muhammad Fahriyawan. And today I will do a review again, but today is special because I will review some articles or 10 articles exactly that I use for the extensive reading class. Alright, without waiting any further ado, let's get to the article number 1. Okay, let's move on to the first one. The first one is the effect of using grammar translation method on acquiring English as a foreign language by Israq M. Akko. The goal of this research is to investigate the effect of using grammar translation method on acquiring English as a foreign language. The finding of this research indicate that there's a positive effect of using grammar translation method as a foreign language acquisition by female students. This research concluded that the female students who were taught by using this grammar translation method progressed notably in grammar, in which they achieve greater self-confidence. Alright, let's move on to the number 2. Students' involvement in EFL online classroom during the pandemic COVID-19 at a senior high school by Nur Isnani. In online classes, the researcher found that students were passive and didn't want to calculate their progress. They would be slower. Therefore, this study aimed to see how the students' involvement in EFL online classroom during the COVID-19 pandemic at the stage senior high school 1 Bengkalis, with a hope that teachers can try to overcome it. The result of the study are: first, student involvement with the teacher is passive. Second, student involvement with other students. Students can interact with their classmates in the online learning progress, even though the response is very time-consuming because the teacher or student's internet connection network is sometimes bad and interferes with the learning progress. The third, student involvement with the material. The involvement of English students with the learning materials at SMAN 1 can be said to be good because the English teacher teach well, like how he does face-to-face learning in the class. That's number 2. Let's move to the number 3. The effectiveness of a skill-based program in reducing public speaking anxiety by Charles James Kidden and Masahiro Sakamoto. Research was conducted to test the effectiveness of a skill-based program as a method for reducing anxiety during public speaking. Researchers found Japanese and American college students have similar distribution of high, medium, and low public speaking anxiety, although both Japanese and American college students reported similar levels of public speaking anxiety. The cause of the anxiety may not necessarily be similar until the causes of public speaking anxiety are investigated. Researchers cannot assume that all the treatment strategies used in the United States will be appropriate for Japanese students. Let's move on to the number 4. Number 4. Creating an online learning community in a flipped classroom to enhance EFL learners' oral proficiency by Wenji Vivian Wu, Jun Scott, and Ji Chiang. Study examined the impact of an online learning community in a flipped classroom, specifically via mobile platform, on EFL learners' oral proficiency and student perceptions. The results from multiple sources indicate that the online learning community not only facilitates meaningful and positive collaboration, but also significantly improve the participants' oral proficiency, thus leading to more active engagement in highly interactive learning activities such as storytelling, dialogue collaboration, class discussion, and group presentation. Number 5 is engaging ESP students with brain-based learning for improved listening skills, vocabulary retention, and motivation by Ashraf Atta Muhammad Safain Salim. Brain-based learning approach to improve listening skills of business students, vocabulary retention, and establish positive attitude with regards to their brain dominance and learning styles. Finding shows that the brain-based learning is an effective approach for developing listening skills, consolidate vocabulary, recalling, and retention. It also helps maximize motivation toward learning language skills. The next one is demonstration technique to improve vocabulary and grammar element in teaching speaking at EFL learners by Muhammad Husnu. This study aimed at examining the effectiveness of demonstration technique to improve vocabulary and grammar element in teaching speaking at EFL learners. The researcher found that there was a significant difference in mean score between experimental and control group. The t-test score is higher than the table. It means that the demonstration technique was significantly effective in teaching speaking, especially to improve the element of vocabulary and grammar teaching speaking at EFL learners. Number 7 is improving English reading comprehension ability through survey, questions, read, record, recite, and review strategy or SK4R by Nurul Lailatul Kusnia, Yuma Rashid, and Ninuk Lustianti. The aim of this study is to examine the effect of the survey, question, read, record, and review or SK4R strategy of the reading comprehension ability students of the second semester. The result of this study that there's a significant difference was found in English reading comprehension ability in favor of students who studied reading comprehension before and after the use of the SK4R strategy. Number 8 is exploring techniques of developing writing skills in IELTS preparatory courses, a data-driven study by Said Ali Ostofar Nabagi and Said Ismail Safai. This data-driven study aims at uncovering techniques and strategies experienced teachers use in developing IELTS candidates' writing skills rather than testing the effect of externally imposed intervention. Iterative data collections and analysis reveal techniques such as exposing candidates to sample answers, teaching grammar and vocabulary as a prerequisite to writing, teaching prefabricate patterns, raising candidates' awareness of scoring criteria, teaching discourse markers, and encouraging learners to develop their content knowledge. The findings have clear implication for both test takers who look for effectiveness techniques of developing their writing skills and practitioners who strive to develop candidates' writing skills in IELTS preparatory courses. The next one, or the number 9, is student perceptions of the use of ICT in a higher education teaching and learning context, the case of a South African university by Dr. Alfred H. Makamura. The aim of the study was to investigate student perceptions of ICT usage by staff and teachers at a South African university. Results show that students perceive technology for learning to mean a computer. They were satisfied with its use and functionality since commencing their studies. Students also report that most lecturers do not use ICT for teaching. Students perceive ICT, particularly the computer, as impacting positively on their academic access, and other curricular issues. The last one, or the number 10, is English Autonomous Learning on the Blackboard Academic Suite by Jianzhang and Zongqin. An experiment is made to check the efficiency of the model between the control group and the experimental group, with each group having 30 students from parallel English major classes After being analyzed by the independent sample t-test, the result is promising. The differences of all test items are below 0.05, which means that the differences between the control group and the experimental group are significant. And the students from experimental group improve their English learning abilities greatly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my review for the articles. Thank you so much for watching. And finally, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you in next video.